We all know that life insurance, regardless the type, insures your life. And because of this, insurance companies want to know about your current and past medical history to determine risk and rates. Are you a high risk? Or are you a low risk? No insurance company is willing to insure your life, and at what cost, if they don't know anything about your health history, unless you take out a guaranteed issue policy, and I'll get to that in just a second. But it's no different than trying to get auto insurance for your new car. The insurance companies want to know about things like your driving record, claim history, how much you drive, and where you live to determine risk and rates. So when it comes to life insurance, there are 3 different types of underwriting: full underwriting, simple underwriting, and then there are policies that have no medical underwriting at all. The application process on fully underwritten policies is a very time-consuming and involved process. Applications can take a few hours to even days to complete, collect a ton of personal information, typically goes back as far as 10 years on your medical history, requires a physical examination, medical records from your doctor's offices, and can take weeks to several months before a final decision is even made. The application process on fully underwritten policies is not the most enjoyable experience and at times can feel invasive on the information it collects. Simple underwriting are policies that have a more simplified and streamlined application process and generally takes about 10 to 20 minutes to complete. These policies usually pull a real-time medical information bureau and prescription drug report for a much faster processing time, go back only 2 to 5 years on your medical history, and is more lenient on the underwriting and approval process. The rates on simplified issue policies can still be just as competitive as the fully underwritten policies, but with a fraction of the hassle. Most of these policies are either instant decision or can take up to 14 days at most. And then there are what you call guaranteed issue policies, where there are no health questions or medical underwriting whatsoever on the application. The companies that offer these type of policies guarantee that they will issue you a policy, but because the insurance company doesn't know anything about your current or past health history, you'll have what they call a waiting period of 2 to 3 years depending on the carrier. What that means is that if you passed away during the first 2 or 3 years from the time your policy issued, instead of paying the full death benefit amount to your beneficiary, it simply refunds to your beneficiary all the premiums you paid into it plus an additional 5 to 10% interest on average. You can also expect to pay a higher rate because this policy is designed for those who don't qualify for other life insurance plans due to having high-risk medical conditions like cancer, AIDS, or dementia that are deemed uninsurable. This is the very reason why you should be working with a broker who works for you and not just one insurance company. All insurance companies have different underwriting and rates. Some companies will be more lenient on certain medical conditions than other companies will. Let's use the respiratory condition COPD, for example. Most insurance companies rate COPD as a high-risk condition, and because of that, they will either decline your application or offer you what is called a modified or a graded issue plan, which acts similar to the guaranteed issue policies. You'll have a limited death benefit during the first few years and pay a higher rate. The good news is we have access to an assortment of companies that accept conditions like COPD as long as certain criteria is met. And because of that, we could get you into a policy that would pay the full death benefit amount from day one and at a much lower rate too. So as an example, if you had a $20,000 policy that started today and then tomorrow you suddenly passed away, it would still pay the full $20,000 to your beneficiary even though you only had it for 1 day. So understand that when it comes to getting life insurance, unless you are okay with paying the highest rates and having a waiting period, be willing to share some medical information with your agent so they can go to work and find the carrier that will offer you a policy with the lowest rates and the best terms on the market that you should be able to qualify for, regardless your medical situation. If you have been turned down in the past or would like us to review your current policy, give us a call or schedule a free, no obligation, no hassle appointment to speak with one of our team of advisors right now. We look forward to helping you. As Final Wishes advisors, our mission is to leave you and your family in the best position possible.